Yeah, it's good to go live.
Yeah. We are live.
We're live. Good.
Yeah, we are live. We'll just wait for others to arrive, and then I think, yeah. Uh, yeah. Once it's 10, I'll start with an intro for you.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are there. Comments. So I can basically take a comment and highlight it
Yes.
straight.
Yeah.
So let's say if I want to see that. You saw that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we are live.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. This is Alok. And we have Devraj here. If you are joining, I know there's a lot of people. We had over 520 registrations for this session. So I would ask each one of you to just, I can see your name, to put your location as well, and where you're joining from. And if you have any questions, we can we'll bring all the questions up here. All right, to get started, welcome everyone to this LinkedIn Live. My name is Alok, and I'm from ZaranTech. And today's session, we are diving in to one of the hottest topic in enterprise ERP: how to get started, especially SAP, how to get started with SAP AI today, even on your existing system. That's the question. And joining me is someone who's been leading this wave, Devraj Bardhan from IBM. He's a thought leader, SAP author, and one of the key voices driving AI innovations in SAP environment. So Devraj, I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. This is Devraj. I'm speaking to you from London today, and I lead SAP AI at IBM Consulting, and I've been working with SAP now for over 20 years. Started my journey way back with 3.0F, if anyone knows what that is, and worked my way through being a developer, integration architect, all the way to an enterprise architect. Have done several S4HANA transformation projects, and now leading SAP BTP and AI. So that's a short introduction from my side, and my claim to fame is I'm an author of 6 SAP Press books, 5 of them on S4HANA and 1 of them on data intelligence, which is now called BDC.
Excellent, excellent. That is some resume. Awesome, awesome. All right, so let's dive in straight, Devraj. I know you have spent about what 2 decades in SAP. Uh,
Yeah.
how did AI enter your transformation playbook? Let's start there.
Yeah. So what you're seeing with Joule today in the market, IBM was working with SAP way back in 2018, and we were showcasing our first chatbot using Watson Assistant at Sapphire and TechEd in 2018.
Mhm.
Dcom and CBIT, if those of you from Germany would know what CBIT is, and Dcom is the developer conference for SAP internal folks. We presented that in 2019, early 2019. If most of you will not know, but SAP had a product called Copilot. It was after Fury had got launched, they had released a product called Copilot where you could chat with SAP, and we built the first apps on top of that and showcased it to our SAP and IBM customers at Sapphire and TechEd. That's how my journey with AI started. Obviously, Leonardo was there, but IBM was also having Watson, so we were working with Watson, Leonardo. Then, obviously, AWS and Azure came in with the AI offerings, trying to integrate that with SAP happened. So, my journey with AI started way back in 2018, and we have been doing AI with SAP from 2018. So, if you're in 2025 and you're asking, hey, how do I get started with AI? We enabled customers with AI way back in 2018, so we can start enabling that pretty quickly as well now. The only thing is it becomes much more easy because in 2018 it was for Python developers and data scientists to do AI. Today
Right.
anybody can do because of low code, no code tools, drag and drop, Joule, SAP build. It's become very, very simple to jump onto AI.
Excellent, excellent. Um, Great. So let's take a few questions I get on the. Also, one more thing I just want to add: we will be taking questions from your chat. We will be showcasing here, but let's cover the first part, which is the intro and some topics we want to just talk about. So, what is that? This I get all the time. I'm here, Raj. What is that one myth you hear often about AI adoption, SAP specifically, SAP AI adoption?
See, all of us are using AI in some form of some
Right,
form. Like,
right.
if you're not using it, your child is using it, right? Your
Yes,
spouse is using it. Someone's using it. You are using AI with ChatGPT. You're using AI with Copilot. Copilot is there in front of you. It's on your laptop. It's on your phone. It's everywhere. You're asking questions. You're asking for recommendations. It's doing stuff for you. You can then easily translate that to SAP. Why not, right? Why should SAP be clunky and why should it be difficult? Why not give the same as a Copilot experience on SAP? So AI is everywhere. If you can do AI on your Outlook and your Teams and OneDrive and SharePoint, you should be able to do AI with SAP. That's the simple thing. So it's there. It's in front of you. You're just not looking deep enough to understand it. And second thing is Copilot chat is free. Copilot is free. You don't even need to, pay anything to Microsoft to use it. GPT is free for use, and then obviously you have a paid tier which is $20 or £20, and then you have even Pro, which is $200, where you get even more stuff done. Looking at the context, SAP has come out with baseline Joule, which is activated and available for a lot of customers. So you can start getting AI and start unlocking AI today without having to wait for the big thing about how do I code AI. Because for me, switch on AI is the term that I use. Switch it on first. Because if you switch on the free tier and see the value, that's when you'll start paying for it. Same thing
I
like that. You're playing free, you use free Copilot to love it, then you pay for the paid tier.
absolutely. I have a very good question here, Anita Majes Maje
Yeah.
M
Majispa,
M.
yeah, has asked, is
Yeah,
S4 a
okay.
must for AI? The answer is
So I'm going to
no, it is
showcase
not.
that question here, right there.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
so is
Anita, very good
S4 a
question.
must for using AI? Go ahead, please. Sorry.
Yeah, so is S4 a must for using AI? The answer obviously is no. Yes and no. If you want to switch on AI, yes, you want to have S4 on Rise to switch on and get the benefit from switching it on. But if you do not have S4, have ECC, like I said, 2018, we were doing AI. You should be able to do AI even with ECC, and you should be able to do AI with any of your other systems that you have, like Ariba and SuccessFactors, which we'll touch upon. And the way to do AI with ECC is to plug it in with some technology like N8N for building agents, plugging it on BTP. using AI code to create LLMs to read your SAP data and give answers. The only difference if you're going to ECC is you may not have O data for everything. You may not have CDS views because you may not be on HANA. So those will actually slow you down a little bit, but you can build your interfaces and integration, and you should pretty much be able to do any AI on ECC. If you have
Excellent.
a use case, just put the use case in, and I'll tell you how we could work on a use case on ECC.
And now, again, it's not just one session I'm doing with Devraj and then we are going to go away. There will be a lot of follow ups. You can always comment on that post you saw on LinkedIn. Me and Devraj have promised each other that we will follow up with your questions. If there is any help needed, we'll do a one on one call just to help the SAP community. So let me hit you with the real question, which everybody is here for. How can companies start using SAP AI without replacing their current system? Now, as current system, ECC, S4, whatever. So I will let you take that question because I know that's you're going to go all in. Go ahead,
Yeah.
please.
So that's, I think, the main question. Can I use SAP AI today with what I have?
Correct.
Let's start with simple things. If you have an SAP BTP environment, you can switch on AI on the BTP servers because it's on a cloud and it's always up to date. Things like Signavio, things like Linux, things like Calm, all of them have embedded AI in it that you can use. SAP BTP will enable you to build AI for ECC as well as S4. That's again one more area. But let's talk about switching on AI. If you have success factors, whether you're not on Rise or not, whether you're on S4 or not, you can get a free Joule subscription switched on, a free Joule. It's called a $0 contract that you can sign with SAP, and they will provision Joule for you, and you can get your basis people to switch it on, and you can start using the base skills on Joule for success factors within a few days.
Oh, wow.
Same thing with Ariba.
Yeah.
Same thing with IBP. Same thing with DMC. Same thing with any SAP SaaS product, CX. If you have SAP Commerce Cloud, Service Cloud, Sales Cloud, any of those, tools and so you will, all of you will have something, right? So why don't you just start putting on the chat what SAP SaaS products you have, and I can tell you that most of the SaaS product list will have Joule embedded in it, and you can activate it for free. So the mantra is start small, start with base AI, start with free AI, because once you switch it on and start seeing value, that's when we'll start saying, okay, this makes value, this gives me good value. Let me start, investing in either switching on premium AI or building custom AI or doing something more. So that
Right.
is S4. That is for customers who are on Ariba's and SaaS platform. Customers who are on S4 but not on RISE can also activate AI, but you will have to do a little more work. On S4, you have your APIs, you can switch them on. You can connect your APIs to something called Joule Studio, and you can build your chatbots on Joule Studio and N8N and build out your APIs very easily. So that's again a very good platform to start building your AI use cases. If you're ECC, like I just said, you can connect your ECC to BTP. So you will need BTP. If you say, hey, I don't have BTP, then my question is, do you have AWS? Do you have Azure? Do you have GCP? Do you have a cloud platform? Do you have Red Hat? Some kind of cloud platform that you can connect to SAP, because you cannot code. You can, if you really want to do AI in a very difficult way with ABAP, but nobody writes an AI program with ABAP. You will need Fiori front end. You will need a chatbot experience, which will come only with Node.js and will not come with ABAP. So forget ABAP for now. You will need the front end technology to help you. You'll need the chatbot technology to help you. You will need a BTP technology or a BTP like technology to help you. So if you have those things, you can start using it on ECC as well. So you do, and if you're on Rise, and lucky if you're on Rise, you just have to talk to the SAP AE, switch on Joule, and you can start getting not only all the base features for Joule on SAP S4, but you can also start activating Business AI, which is the second part of the topic, which I'll cover a little later. And Business AI's SAP has covered about 350 odd business apps that are AI. A lot of them are free, some of them are premium, but those which are the ones which are free can also be switched on S4, but you need to be on Rise for that. Rise means the private cloud edition. Subscription-based licensing is what you need on an on-premise S4 license. You will not be able to switch on those business AI apps or Joule.
Mhm. All right. So we have a very good question here. I like it. Can we implement AI on? And this is from. I'll highlight this. This is from Sridhar Reddy. Can we implement AI in on-premise system?
So anything which is not on RISE, SAP considers on-premise. Now, on-premise can be your data center. It could be in under your desk, for which nobody does today. It can be in a private data center. It can be on your own AWS Azure account. The answer is yes, it can be there, but you cannot code everything in ABAP. So if your on-premise system only runs ABAP, hard luck. But if you have a Java based system that can be sitting next to it, where you can do very, if you have a virtual machine on which you can run Python, and you can put in a big data, lake there, yes, you can start doing AI on premise system. Again, give me a use case and I'll tell you how it can be done, Sridhar, not a problem. But it's not going to be as easy as I'm telling you. It's not going to be as easy as switching on. It's not going to be like Tesla, that you do not know how to drive. You sit at Tesla, say take him to the airport, it takes you to the airport. It's not going to be that simple. It's going to be some hard work. It's going to be a manual stick shift that you will do, and you have to fill some gas, and you have to do some hard work to make, drive the car. It's possible, but you cannot just have ECC. You will need a Red Hat cluster. You'll need some sort of a cluster where you can run some AI tooling. You need some sort of AI platform, because SAP ECC is not an AI platform. It is a ERP which can connect to an AI platform, and magic can happen when both of them work together. So the misconception is, does SAP out of the box do AI? It doesn't do. It has out of the box AI capabilities, but it uses BTP and it needs a lot of AI tooling to make it work.
Yes,
Just
absolutely.
like in the olden days of ECC, you had NetFever. Without NetFever, you couldn't do a lot of things. You just couldn't be on R3. You needed NetFever, right? You needed portals to do the front end facing. You needed PIPO to do stuff. You needed different servers, just like the same way you need an AI server to run your AI use cases.
Right. All right. We
And the
have
AI
another
server
question.
will take the data from ECC, will take the data from S4, but it needs that AI server to pull the data in.
We have another question. I'm just displaying it here. How is SAP ensuring that embedded AI features like Joule deliver real ROI for customers? I know it's a wide type of question, but yeah, for customers rather than being just another add.
Again, very good question. Sahab, very good. The reason is, um, if you're using Copilot, how is your boss ensuring he's getting an ROI from Copilot? He's not. He's giving you Copilot because it's the de facto standard. Everyone's using it. If you're not using it, you're behind a curve. And if you're using Copilot extensively with good prompting, are you saving an hour a day? Are you saving half an hour a day? Are you saving 2 hours a week? You do not know. You don't measure it. It's not measurable. You're just using it.
Right.
If Joule is for free, it doesn't cost you any money. What ROI are you looking for? That's my question to you. I just said we're going to switch on Joule. It's not going to cost you anything. You're on S4 on Rise, free of cost, zero license. Switch it on, start using it. Where's the question of ROI? Because there's no cost to zero. So anything with zero is good enough, right? Yes, there is some work to switch it on. I get it, but it's not like it's months and months of development work to switch it on. It's a basis activity for a couple of weeks to switch it on and get it working. But it's for, you're able to use all the services for free, and the lots of question answers you can do, navigation you can do. It's all for free. So free is really good. So definitely that's the first question. Next question: assume that you are saying, hey, even to switch it on, it cost me $10. Was ROI for $10? Unless you switch it on, unless you ask people to start using it, unless people start using it, it'll not drive adoption. People will have to learn prompt engineering to ask SAP questions. Unless you put some change management teach them prompt engineering, it's not going to happen, right?
Right.
So, so I think there is some work to be done, but that's why I can come in, and Alok and all, we can help you understand the AI features that will give you the best ROI, so they can go and invest your time and energy switching those on. And I'll give a couple of examples today. So it's not that I'm leaving you high and dry. I'll give you a couple of examples and we'll walk through them.
I, based on that, your last part of your answer, I'll ask you this question, and this is very close to my heart because at ZaranTech we are a education. We are working with customers, upskilling in SAP AI, Joule, BDC, all those skills, data intelligence. So let me highlight this question first. Okay, so Minakshi M asks this question: how do you start your SAP AI journey? And I see quite a lot of people have asked this question, so I just took hers. What are the skills we need and courses to learn those skills? Now, Devraj, before you really answer this question, I really want, remember we had that conversation where you were like, I was a big part of the learning and development team. Please do add that, because that just adds amazing value, because I did not know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was,
Yes.
please do add that. Let's start there and then go from that.
Okay, fine. I'm just answering someone that I'll answer her question live so that Sukriti can stay on and wait for me to answer her question. Uh, SAP has something fantastic called Learning Hub. Before it was called Learning Hub, it was called before it was called learning.sap.com, it was called learninghub.sap.com. IBM was one of the first customers and early adopters of Learning Hub, and we bought license for all our developers and consultants for it. And we started using it. And people, I don't know how many of you have used Learning Hub in the 2013, 2014, 2015, when it was to say the least, an ugly PDF reader on the screen that you read with the one fourth
I
of the
was just gonna
screen.
say that, but then I was like, okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, and it was bad, and I was quite frustrated because I was a customer, not a partner, right? I'm IBM, but I'm a customer. So I tweeted one day saying, it is a really crappy tool, and people who follow me know, that something is good, I call out, and something's not good, I call it out, because that's the job of a critic, right? And the VP of learning reached out to me, Max Vessels. We sat down, we did a design thinking session, and I do not remember, it was TechEd 2018 or 2019. The first course was co-created and co-designed by IBM and SAP, and we released the first course on TechEd.
Oh,
1 year
nice.
later, we released 7 courses, but that was the new thing. I told him, you have Coursera, which is the gold standard, and then you have got Learning Hub, which is on the other extreme of the gold standard. How do we bring them together? Because you have the knowledge, you have the PDFs, you have the e-learning, but you do not have the delivery of a good learning platform. So we actually co-created that platform. So today, if you are able to experience Learning Hub for free, because a lot of courses are completely free for you to go and learn. I mean, it's just that two people, executives from one from IBM, one from SAP, got together because of a tweet, co-created something out of our own free interest, because we want to prove out that yes, Learning Hub can, dance like the elephant can dance, right? It can become cool. And we actually released the first course, and actually we saw the adoption zoom and rocket out, not only for IBMers but across the world, because people started loving the new platform. And I'm sure people who are using Learning Hub, please put in a couple of comments so that I know that you're using Learning Hub and you love
Yeah,
it
please
the way
let
it
me know
is.
if you are using the Learning Hub. Just say yes, I'm using, and how much of the AI side of Learning Hub have you used? Please, that would give us an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, Meenakshi, what we'll do is I'll probably, as a follow up to this, post a blog either tonight or tomorrow telling you how to start your AI journey. There is an SAP Business AI course on Learning Hub. Please go find it and do that. It's about 2 3 hours of your time. It'll give you a very good idea of how Business AI can be activated on SAP. It's a very good free course to start with. The second thing you might want to do is understand how to do development. So there's a generative AI hub developer course available. So probably if you do that, you can be a developer. So I do not know if you're a developer or a functional person or an architect, but for a developer is the generative AI hub course. And for business people, you've got a business AI course that you can do. I will try and see if I can find the links while I talk. It's difficult to multitask, but if I find the links, I'll post them also. But just go to Learning Hub and search.
And
It's
just to add,
learning.sap.com.
just to add something else, at ZaranTech, we are doing many courses ourselves. In the We are in fact starting a SAP AI masterclass, and it's a very detailed program, and we'll put that on YouTube and on our channel as well. But whatever you post, Devraj, please let me know as well. I'll add that to the comment to the post I made on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I have a few more questions, so let's just go over this. Give me 1 second. Let me
Yeah,
just.
while you're so Sukriti asked, how do you qualify the benefits of using Joule? How does one convince the business? So I think I answered the question.
Mhm.
Start with free and activate free, because nobody can convince the business that free is bad, right? Free is always good. And then you have to look at all the business AI use cases and see, does it really help the business? And we'll have to think of business problems. It is, think of a business problem and post it here. We'll see and say, hey, this business problem be solved by RPA? Can the business problem be solved by just simple, uh, Python program, or does it need AI? Because AI, you do not need to do everything, right? You do not need AI for everything. Some things can be just rule based, something can be just ABAP, something can be just Python, something needs AI. And we have not talked about generative AI yet. We have only been talking about AI. Generative AI is the next level. Agentic AI is even the further level. We're just at AI level, right? And there are a lot of things that can be done without AI. So we look at a use case and say, you know what, this is not an AI use case, this is an RP use case, this is an automation use case, and that's good enough. And there are tools where that you can do. So yes, Joule benefit is, you ask SAP questions, it answers. You ask SAP questions, it will read SAP help and give you a summary. You do not have to go to SAP help and search. If you say, hey, I want to have a return sales, or I have no clue how to do it, SAP Joule will take you to the Fury screen for return sales orders and say, here it is. And if you need help, it will tell you how to create a return sales order for an order that is returned. And then if you say, hey, I have a purchase order with quantity 10, I want it updated to quantity 15, it'll do it for you. Do not have to go log in, find a line item, and update it. And if you have analytics question like, what is my DSO today? You ask the question, you get the answer. You do not have to go and see which embedded analytics or which Fury app do I need to look at. You ask Jules the question, you find the right app and display the answer to you as a graphic form or an image. So those are the basic benefits that people get. That means change management becomes very easy. Someone going to S4 today can use Joule as a change management tool and reduce the training dramatically. So that's one use case that you can easily talk to Sukriti with your management.
Quite a lot of people are asking about the free courses. Antoinette, you asked that. I have seen a lot of other people ask that too. We will put that list on the chat of the post we made for this event. We'll put that, and then we'll display that on my profile and Devraj's profile. I have another question, and then after that, we'll go. Here is a question from Shankar Giri. Great insight for ECC. You can create custom skills in AI core and integrate to on-prem as well, other than embedded AI. Let me know your insights. Go ahead.
So the question is, if you're on S4 Rise, you have a lot of APIs, you have ODatas that you can consume, you have CDS views that you can consume. On ECC, you will not have all the ODatas and ECCs ODatas and CDS views to consume. So you'll have to write your own APIs. That's your first, difference. That's my insight, right? That you have to think through and say, hey, I have to build a little interface like a BAPI or a BADI or an iDoc that you traditionally do, because you do not have the streaming facility available in ECC. But having said that, SAP BTP is SAP's best kept secret. Very few customers know that BTP works on ECC. So if you're an ECC and you get your hands onto BTP, you can do magic. You can do a lot of magic. Again, I'm not discouraging you to say, hey, if I can do all my magic on ECC, I should never move to S4. I'm not saying that. You will have to move to S4. You have to move to S4 for compliance reason. You'll move to S4 because S4 is going to put you out of competition if you do not move as fast as your competitor does. For example, if you want to change a business model and you say, hey, I'm on ECC and I want to change my business model, it take you 6, 9, 10 months to write ABAP code and change the business model and go live. And by the time you do, you may be out of business. Your company may be out of business. Think of it as a big, big, big push, right? Whereas on S4, you could very quickly write an app on BTP, plug it in as a side-by-side extension, and go live within days, because you'll not write a single line web app code. Think of how powerful it is. You will write a code on BTP, take it live with just using APIs on S4. You've not moved any transfers in S4. Therefore, you can independently go live in an app irrespective of SAP's transport process. Just that one statement I said should just motivate you to move to S4, right? Because that's something you can't do in ECC today.
Correct. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to write some ECC
We
about
we
code,
had
whereas
this
in S4 you
detailed
can.
discussion the other day about this. Yes. Thanks for that question. I will take one more last question, and then after that, we'll move on with our discussion. Jaydeep asked this. We have it's kind of use case, just embarked on integration of ECC, currently in the process of moving to S4 HANA to SAP Commerce Cloud. This has given much better user experience to our customers. Great. Can AI be leveraged on this case where our sales users can benefit with their daily task. I know it's a particular use case, but I really like that.
It
And I
is.
know you wanted to add something to it. So,
Yes, if your SAP Commerce Cloud is on a cloud, yes, it can. So if you're using the latest version of SAP Commerce Cloud, you can activate Joule and you can get the benefits of Business AI right away.
okay. And Jaydeep, just to follow up, if you want to get back and you want to know the whole process, just again, comment on the post and we'll give you all the details there. Thank you. Anything else you want to add here
Yes, so
before I
Sukriti
move on?
added one question is cloud identity services for free. So Sukriti, please go to Discovery Center and check for yourself. See, you will need cloud identity services for BTP as a base. Even if you are using Signavio, you need to log into Signavio and need to do that. You need an IDP and cloud identity services, and IDP is probably the best solution. If you do not have that, I think you should get that because that's the future. It's like I do not have Entra ID, I do not have single sign-on. You can live with it, yes, but ideally it's not a good practice. So my recommendation would be to get cloud integration services set up on your BTP. It may cost you a little bit, but it won't, it'll be like washing the car, not painting the car after a dent. That's all. That's the difference between the cost, if at all there's a cost. So cost should not be the reason why you'll not use Joule, right? And once you do that, again, Joule for Signavio may be a very small use case, but once you have a cloud identity service, you can activate Joule for Signavio, for Linux, for Calm, for any BTP services, for integration suite, anything. So I think it's a one-time investment for that you need, to basically make sure that you have a good secure system, and security is very very key. So
And
I would say,
this there is oh sorry, and there is
yeah, go
this
ahead.
question I get all the time, and we work with quite a lot of consultants, SAP consultants. What is the entry point? What is the simplest way? Because everybody's throwing all these different words at us: AI, Joule, data intelligence, BDC. What is the simplest entry point?
So
Joule, BTP
let's
AI,
look.
data intelligence. Go ahead.
So look at me. I started off as an ABAP developer way back. I have still up there, if people can see my first ABAP book. I think I need to show that because people who were looking forward. This is the first ABAP book which I had, right? And I learned that. And if I could learn this ABAP and do AI, then anybody can do AI. That's the most simple thing for me to tell.
There
And
you
to
go,
think of
guys.
it, that's yeah. And to think
No, I
of
said,
that,
there you
someone who
go.
read this, yeah, someone who read this book,
SAP,
and
I
learned
agree.
about to write 6 books. That's a journey. But I didn't do anything different to anybody else. I just kept
Excellent,
on with
excellent.
the trend. I kept on with the trend. I kept learning. I did not think that once I finished my ABAP certification, I was done. I kept learning all the time
Yeah.
because if you don't, for me, if I don't read a technical paper once a week, I'm out in the AI world. It's that brutal, right? It is really
again
brutal.
again another question I'll always, this is a question, how does, okay, prove it to me it works for my ROI. So I'm just posting that question. Nitin posted this, what's your prediction? Well, will AI reduce SAP's project timelines by 20, 30 or more percent? So
Question is, Nitin, what kind of SAP project are you talking about? Are you talking about a greenfield project, a bluefield project, brownfield project? Are you talking about an extension to a particular piece of code? Or are you talking about saying I'm doing a rollout, right? So
I
you
think
have to be
brownfield,
more
I think
specific.
brownfield.
Yeah. So let's assume that you're doing a greenfield S4 transformation. You're following SAP best practice and best standards, it will reduce it by 20% easily because AI will tell you this is the best practice and it'll guide you through the whole process. If you have a very bespoke process, it can save you a 5% or something here. But again, the question about AI is if you're doing a project is saving you 5 or 10% is not the main criteria. The main criteria is you create 100,000 invoices, purchase orders every month. You create 10,000 invoices every month that you send to your suppliers, to your vendors, to your customers. You receive 10,000 suppliers from your vendors that you have to pay. If you can use AI to plug leakages, if you can use AI to pay the vendors faster, better, and get good discounts, if you're able to basically make sure that any fraud in the invoices are kind of found out before you actually pay, the amount of ROI you get is going to be huge. The
Huge. Yep.
question is You're not doing it in ABAP because you will spend 9 months to 12 months to do it. In AI with BTP and S4, you'll spend weeks doing it. That's the
And
difference.
then also I want to add is that these are AI is just a stepping stone to agentic. That's where everything mostly will happen. You know what I'm saying? Like we are using agents ourselves at ZaranTech. I mean, that's we started with prompt engineering. I took a course on prompt engineering because just asking a question like Google that never worked. And then we went into AI deep, and then now agents, and then workflows, automation, all of that stuff. But yes, those are just the stepping stone to bigger things coming up.
Right. One more
Right.
question, which is very interesting, which I can read here from
Yeah, please.
Mohammad A.B. Mir, is what new skills or roles does SAP expect companies to build internally to operate AI? Right.
Mhm.
Simple thing. You're an ABAP developer. You cannot be an ABAP. You need to know RAP. You need to know CAP. You need to know BTP. You need to know Python. You need to
Mhm.
learn AI core and generative AI hub, and then you know everything you need to know. That's pretty much it. So that means if you were an ABAP developer way back, you did a BC 400, BC 405, BC 410. Now you'll do AI 101, 110, 120. That's about it, right? On top of what you know, right? So if you're getting started today as an ABAP developer or as a functional person, you need to understand what do I need to do in business in terms of AI and learn the business courses which are there in Learning Hub. We will post some blogs around that. And if you're a developer, learn BTP, learn how to code in AI Core and Generative AI Hub, and that will get you on a fast track. Simple.
So I have this
Learning from
question. Oh, go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, if you're finishing up something, go
No,
ahead.
I finished. I finished.
Okay. So how does I mean again? There's so many words being thrown around. So people want to understand how can SAP AI coexist with tools like ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot? Can you shed some light on that?
So it can. So there's a question from Saurabh. Can Joule code RIP wrap? Yes, it can. You need to set up Joule for developers, and you need to connect. You need to then have either S4 HANA on Rise on 2025, which nobody has today, because
Mhm.
most of the customers have just got S4 HANA 2025 version and implementing it or upgrading to it. You can use on SAP BTP ABAP environment, or you can use SAP build code. And yes, it can code wrap uh, decent. No, you have to give some prompt and it'll code you some wrap, but it'll code you new code on wrap. If you use ChatGPT to code RAP, it might hallucinate or it might hallucinate quite badly because SAP ABAP is a closed language. Not many people know about it. Very few people know about it. The LLMs know Java and Python and Go much better than they know ABAP. So there's going to be a lot of hallucination. So, given that fact, ChatGPT will remain. People will use it because they use it for whatever they do, and they will come back for Joule for developers to get better, looking ABAP code. And they both have to somehow coexist today.
Coexist. Yeah.
If people do not want to use Joule, and you can use Joule for ABAP, SAP products, SuccessFactors, Ariba's. But if you have Workday, you're not going to use Joule with Workday. You'll use whatever either Workday provides, or you'll use your own Microsoft Copilot to chat with Workday because you're not going to use Joule to chat with Workday. It's not going to happen. Similarly, Agent Force from Salesforce will have their own chat mechanism, and ServiceNow will have their own chat mechanism. So you'll need an agentic layer on top, which is like a Switzerland, which talks to SAP, which talks to Oracle, which talks to Microsoft Dynamics, talks to ServiceNow, and talks to Workday, talks to Salesforce, and brings everything together. So that's agent to agent. It's maturing. It's not released yet. So we'll talk about it maybe in few months, maybe 3 4 months time when it's released and people are using it. But for now, what you need to understand is Copilot will exist. People will use Copilot. There is going to be some integration with Copilot and Joule. But today's focus is mostly on Joule and how we do at NSAP because you're switching it on. The reason I'm spending so much time explaining Joule is because Joule comes with 2,100 skills out of the box.
Oh,
Copilot comes with zero skills out of the box for SAP.
it's built
So,
for SAP
yeah,
on the
no, yeah, yeah.
SAP
Yeah.
context.
So if you use Copilot from Microsoft, you have to build your first skill and the second skill and third skill from scratch, like a Hello World, like your S-Flight program to build the whole thing. Whereas Joule, you switch it on and it starts working because it's got 2,100 skills. It's like Fury. You switch on SAP, you have 50,000 Fury apps. You can switch on 500 and start using it. You don't need to build anything. If on the side, if you say I'm going to build something on Java and Python, you will have no screen. You'll have to first build a database, then you'll build the screens. 1 year later, you'll have something to start testing with. So the choice
Awesome.
is yours, right? The choice is completely yours, where you want to be. Idea is to get benefit today, quickly, very quickly, and the best way to get benefit is switch on. If it doesn't give you value, you all have a mobile phone, you all have apps on a mobile phone. What do you do? If you don't like an app, you delete it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
delete the Joule app that doesn't work, move on to the next Joule app.
So being in the edtech industry, I mean the upskilling, we get this question quite a lot. Where do I start my SAP's AI journey heading to 2026? Or how do I prepare as an SAP consultant for the AI first era coming up, ERP era? That's some of the questions we get. Like, I mean, where exactly? I know people are giving all this information, but where do I start? Heading into 2026.
Yeah, so you have to decide: am I a developer? Am I a basis admin? Am I like looking at operations and improving operations? Am I integration architect doing interfaces? Am I a data scientist doing data science projects? Am I a functional person in finance? And where do I want FI to help me? Am I end user? Am I a consultant? What am I? Once you realize that what you are, then you have to say, what do I need to learn to get to my next level of a career? So for an ABAP developer, I said they need to learn Python and Node.js, because just learning ABAP will not get them any further. They have to learn ABAP. They should not forget ABAP. They should keep doing ABAP, but they should also learn the modern languages to help bridge the gap between the SAP and the non-SAP world. They need to learn BTP and Generative AI Hub. That's given for a developer. They need to know how to use Joule for developers and ChatGPT or Copilot, Copilot coding and coding with Copilots to become more efficient. For a functional person, you need to understand how do I start improving my process to do DSO better? How do I do my month-end closing better? Which features of S4 do I switch on and do it right? Someone asked me, I forgot who it was. It was a little can Joule do configuration? No, it cannot, but it'll tell you the steps to do configuration, and you have to go and do the configuration yourself. Maybe in the future, Joule will allow you to do configuration on its own, but today it'll tell you how to do the configuration, and you have to still go and press the SPRO button and do it yourself.
Excellent, excellent. I do have another question. So this is what skills or roles will become most critical as AI embeds very deeper into the whole world of S4HANA? Like exactly what skills? Because
You
according to you.
still need a very deep SAP skill. Without that, there's no difference between you being a Python developer or being a Snowflake developer with no SAP knowledge.
Correct.
And then you have to understand what is it in SAP that is driving AI. I am going to go to SAP ECC to S4. If I had 40 people doing my journal entries in S4 ECC, do I need 40 people to do my journal entry in S4? The answer is no, because if ICO reconciliation becomes easier, you'll need definitely less first. Then what can I automate? How much can I automate?
Right, right.
And what can agents do that the human doesn't have to do? For example, today, if I have an invoice that I've got, I scan the invoice and the scanning is incorrect. I need a human to look at the invoice. I need to look at the errors in the scan and to do manual correction. And that's about 20 to 30% of per person's day job. This can be done by AI today through a three-way match or four-way match or a much better text recognition software that can understand the PDF, convert the data. If there are mistakes, it'll read the data again like a virtual, I read everything, update, correct, and get the data to a 99%, 100% correct state. And this is pretty much AI. If you have a contract which goes into hundreds of pages and you need to know, hey, I need to understand at what price point can I do this contract if I spend 1 million, it'll read through the whole contract and tell you the price point is you need to buy 10 products or 100 products and then you get the best price. You put 100 into quantity and go. You did not spend 4 hours searching your OneDrive to find that one file, read through the whole period to find that 100 no, quantity and then type it in. You saved your money, right?
Right.
What you have done to AI, you asked what is a quantity. AI has found a quantity 100, and it comes to the purchase order, updates the 100 quantity, saves it, and sends a PO back to the vendor saying, "Here's updated PO for you with 100 quantity. Please give me the best price." That is AI to the power of 2.0.
Right.
I just give you one more example how it can, you just give a prompt. The prompt actually goes, picks up the right quantity, puts in the purchase equation, approves it, sends it to the vendor, and says, "Vendor, here's the 100 quantity I need. Please make sure giving me the right discount." And when the invoice comes, it remembers, Devraj had asked me for this price. Has the invoice come with the right price? If not, it'll block the invoice and say, "Hey, look at my email which I sent you 2 days back, which says I need this price for 100 quantity. You have not given it to me. I blocked the invoice. Please fix it." Again, AI can send an email, a human doesn't need to do. This is the kind of skills that people have to understand. So I gave a use case. If you're an ABAP developer, you know what skill set you need to build this. Think in AI terms and see what you need. You need an LLM, you need to know how to do document, grounding. You need to be able to do text extract, you need to be able to do some Python matching, you need to be able to do some RAG. So there's quite a few new skills you have to use to get this use case working.
Now
And for
I
a
have a
functional
question.
person, it's a lot about testing and making sure there's no prompt injection, there's no man in the middle attack, there is no harm, no bias, all of that. So there's a lot of work that testing has to still be doing. It's just not work is not going to go away. It's going to just move into a different direction.
Now, most of you, I don't know if a lot of you guys know or not, but Devraj is IBM guy. So there is this question I've always wanted to ask you. So how does IBM help customers identify high impact opportunities inside SAP? Just, I
So,
know, but
yeah,
yeah.
so I'll give my IBM Client Zero story. IBM Client Zero story is how did IBM implement SAP and save money?
Okay.
I was part of the IBM team that implemented ECC 6 way back in 2008, 9, 10,
Okay.
long back. So when it comes 2015, 2016, Dayanand is on the call. He helped understand how we can take this ECC box, which is on DB2 on a mainframe server, and convert it into a HANA box. And he was one of the first guys that helped us try to do the conversion, see how the conversion would even work. When we moved to S/4HANA, we did three things. We actually took a lot of cost out. We automated a lot of processes. And in 2023 and 2024, we saved $3.5 billion. Dollars. It's a B on operational costs just because we went and adopted AI. And I'll give an example of one use case that we did, and then I'll give you two more examples. And in 2025, we are on the road to save a cumulative 4.5. That means we are saving 1 more billion in 2025 in the process. So what did we do? We were using Ask HR, which was a chatbot. People would ask questions and they'll get answers. And basically, it eliminated the need for any of us to go and log into Successfactors to do anything. So we don't log into SuccessFactors. I say, please transfer this person from this department to this department. SuccessFactors, the bot goes and does it. Imagine how much time we're saving in this process. And that's just one example. And like that, in Ask HR, we have about 150 bots running around, of 150 AI agents running around doing tasks for us. Therefore, we do not need a back office person to do it. We have a similar for Ask Procurement. We have similar for Cash to Quote. We have got similar processes for our supply chain, and all those processes that came AI process that sits on top of SAP has been driving this cost case for us. It's a public story. You can just go look at just search for IBM Client Zero story. You'll get all the papers and all the materials around that and how IBM has implemented AI internally to save cost. And that's what we're doing. We take this example, show the customers we did that. We said we start small with a simple NLP based app, not even AI, NLP. NLP is natural language processing. Do that, get the first benefit, and then start doing into moving into RPA, moving into automation, moving into AI, then moving into generative AI, and finally into agentic AI.
Excellent. Excellent. We only have another 15, 14 minutes for this session. So I will cover a couple of other things. Our next podcast or the LinkedIn Lives will be about the ABAP one. We'll talk about that, how ABAP can help with the AI coding and all that stuff. And after that, we are going to do, which is the most demanding topic, is that my system's working on ECC. Why should I move? What's this clean core? All of that stuff. We'll talk about that. We'll dive a little bit deeper into that subject. But yeah, this is that, and let's take some more question here.
So they asked a question: does SAP have a roadmap to release its own LM models to compete with OpenAI and other LM models?
Okay, let
Yeah,
me put
Daya,
that
you
up.
must have missed the announcement at TechEd, but SAP has come up with RPT1 and ABAP, SAP ABAP LLMs. So SAP ABAP LLMs will be available Q1, Q2 next year. And RPT model is already open source right now. You can just go to rpt.sap.com and you can start playing around in the sandbox right away. And the other models, the paid models, are coming also in Q1, Q2. So SAP is releasing models that competes with OpenAI. Yeah.
There is another good question. I just put it up here. This is from Mr. Huck, and it is: can we make agents using SAP AI for business
Can we
at
make
this?
agents doing it? Yes, yes, we can. So you can. So SAP has a product called Joule Studio, and in Joule Studio they have a feature called Joule Skills, with which you can ask simple questions and get answers.
Mhm.
And a new product is coming out in December, a feature of Joule Studio called Agent Builder. And through Agent Builder, you can build agents. And if you build agents using N8N, you can integrate N8N with Joule Studio and integrate fully in your SAP landscape using Generative AI Hub. So yes, you can build agents with SAP AI.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So, do you want to answer? There's so many questions coming up. So let me just highlight another one. One second. Let me just take this down. This is two. Okay, here we go. Oh, that was a addition to that question, which is great. Not a question per se, but I thought that was a question. All right, let's see some more questions we have. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, so it's a good thing, right? You know, you have to integrate security. Like I said, Joule basically takes care of authentication and authorization together. It
Hmm.
makes sure that the user who has access to finance data is the user who will have access to the same data via Joule, otherwise, he will not have access. We will it make sure that principal propagation is enabled and single sign-on is there, so it is out the box. You use a third-party LLM, you will have to build and code that whole security layer around it. Yeah, so definitely that's out of the box. Yeah.
So let's cover this one. So, what is that one practical step companies can take this week, just like this week, because they've attended this LinkedIn live session, they got some insights into it, to start with SAP AI? Like, where do I start as a company?
So where do you start with SAP AI as a company? uh, it's a three-step process. If you have any SAP BTP or SaaS product, switch on Joule on that as a first step, the Joule base. If you're on Rise, activate Business AI base on your S4. If you are having BTP, you can start building some custom AI on top of it with Joule Studio and Agent Builder. If you're an ECC and have BTP, you can also build directly agents on Joule Studio and Agent Builder without having to activate Joule, because you can't activate Joule. So simple step: activate Joule if you're on BTP and SaaS. Activate Joule if you're on S4 Rise. Activate Business AI if you're on S4 Rise. Three-step process. And the fourth step is start building custom AI on Joule Studio, connecting to either ECC or S4 on-premise or Rise,
Okay.
or a mix
And
of all.
quite a lot of people are asking about the recordings. The recording will be available on our LinkedIn accounts, so you can just go and see that. Now, here is a question. I know it's a little longer. It can take long, but I get this question asked all the time. Can you share a real world example of SAP AI improving efficiency or decision making? Now, this
Right.
is coming from mostly the C suite or the
Yeah.
managers, directors. So,
So
yes.
one of the best use case of AI is it should be AI, it should be generative AI, and it should just not be AI for the sake of AI, right? So the
Right.
use case that I take is a four-way match. All of you must be having a three-way match in your company where you get an invoice and you match the invoice against a purchase order and a goods receipt, and you pay the vendor. Very few customers actually look at a contract and make sure the contract and the purchase order are matching. They don't. That means you're leaking some cash, you're leaving money at the table, and
Mm,
typically any company that we have seen keep loses about 1.5% of the total spend on leakage, procurement leakage. So that's something that we can easily plug and block. So my example is take all your contracts, vectorize them, store them in BTP, and every time you raise a purchase requisition, every time you get a quotation, check against the contract. Check against the contract even at the very early stage of purchase requisition or quotation, because the further you check, the more expensive it becomes. If at a purchase requisition, I want to buy 20 laptops, you pick up the contract from Lenovo or Apple and get the right price into the purchase requisition, you will know that your purchase requisition will then go to the vendor. The vendor will will give you the purchase order, approve it based on that. They will give an invoice based on that, and therefore your four-way match is not even required because you've done the check way early. But if you've not done it, then when you get the invoice, you're going to first do a three-way matching generally, and the four-way matching would be to go check against the contract and see if there's a leakage. And if there's a leakage, plug the leakage, write emails, negotiate with the vendor, negotiate with your employees, and find out how to save money for the corporation. So that's a fantastic AI use case, which
Yes.
costs very less money. At the same time, it saves you so much money that it can basically become a self-funding AI factory for you.
That's what I mean. You couldn't have given it anything better. I mean, I asked you for a use case. I thought you were going to give me something else, but you just hit the point where you're like, let's save some money first. And this is the first thing they can implement right away. Amazing. Let's take some more questions. Here's the question: is Joule's complete technical skill? I know Joule. How FCs can recommend to existing business processes what is the best course help? Okay, well, you understand.
So what is FC's functional consultancy? Is
Yes.
Joule complete? So see, Joule is tell me is Chat GPT or Copilot a technical skill or functional skill, guys? On your outlook,
I mean, it's a combination.
that's a question that you
Well,
need to think about. So I mean, why are we worried about whether it's functional or technical? You
correct.
switch on Joule, it is a basic skill. You give a prompt and get an answer from Joule, that's a functional skill. You extend Joule to do things that Joule cannot do, that's a technical skill.
Oh my God, that was the best one. Did you just make that up or what?
No, I have been asked this question before,
Oh, okay, okay. I was like
and it's a
that. You
very
came
good,
up with
it's a
that. That
very
was
good question.
amazing.
It's a very good question.
Yes, yes, that is amazing. Thank you. That was good. That was good. I have another question here, so let's just put that up. There you go. In case of on-premise customer, what will be a strategy to use SAP Joule?
You build custom skills using Joule Studio and start leveraging it. You cannot use out-of-the-box skills for ECC, so forget about it. But start building anything you need. You will see very soon that all the skills that SAP has out of the box are basic skills, and you will need more advanced skills. So think of a user journey, create a user journey, build a skill in that gives value to a customer on Joule Studio and consume it with ECC. It's going to give you very good value. You just have to find the right use case and try it out. So that
Yes.
would be my first option for you is that when you say on-premise. But even if you're an on-premise customer, I'm pretty sure you'll have some cloud product like Ariba and SuccessFactors. Use Joule there and do the comparison. I'm using Joule standard for Ariba and SuccessFactors, and I'm using Joule custom for ECC, and see the two worlds and see how it works.
Excellent, excellent. So we've got another 5 minutes, but I want to cover one of these topic. And I love cloud, everything about cloud. How are clients combining BDP with hyperscalers like AWS or Azure for AI purpose? I mean, the whole architecture. Just give us an idea.
So a lot of customers were using AI with SAP even before PTP came out. That's given.
Hmm.
Customers who were mature were already using AI without BTP. So BTP is here to stay. If you're using PIPO, you move to CPI. But if you're using Salesforce, what do you use? MuleSoft, right? You use MuleSoft there. If you're using Oracle, you're using Fusion middleware or something. So everyone has their own product there, right?
Hmm.
Hyperscalers have their products. You need consulting companies like IBM to look at what is the use case to tell you where will you use BTP, the inner ring, where will you use outer ring, which is Azure or AWS or GCP, And we will use a combination of both AWS and SAP, or BTP and Azure, or BTP and GCP, which is called a joint reference architecture. It needs architecture acronym. So I think there are certain things that you can do with SAP very well, which is grounded with SAP data. There's something that you can do very well outside. For example, if you're combining your sales data, which is coming from Salesforce, with just your invoice data coming from S4, it might be a use case where you might do it in the hyperscaler platform, because 90% data is coming from hyperscaler and just getting one little information from S4. On the other hand, if you're getting 90% data from SAP, like for the contracts, and all the contract data is outside, you might do it in BTP and just pull in the contract data from S3 bucket or Azure Blob Storage. This is architecture where you need us like IBM to come in and help you make the decision. Will come help you make the right decision, and once you made it, you can then go scale on your own. But the starting point to make the decisions is where we can come and help you. But our going in position is use BTP where it's out of the box anyway. Use BTP to extend where it makes sense. Combine with a hyperscaler to make it make it also makes sense where, depending on where the data is and if the data is purely SAP or non-SAP. If 90% data is non-SAP, maybe BTP is not the right choice for you to do it.
All right, Devraj. So we've got 2 more minutes, but I'm going to go back to this question. So, how can people follow your work? We all know, but still, some people don't know you. So they're just coming and enjoying this session.
Yeah.
How can
So
people
I'm
follow
yeah,
your work or connect with you for deeper learning? So
right.
please give us like where can they connect? What blogs do you have? Community, all of that stuff, little bit.
Right. So I do post a little bit on SAP community, but the main place where you find me very active is LinkedIn. So if you just follow me on LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn, ask me questions on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to answer that. When I post something, most of the look at my old post, a lot of them will be useful to you, so you can get a lot of answers through the old posts that I've done over the last 1 year. I go to conferences and speak. So if you're joining the conference, just follow me, and we could probably do a face-to-face meetup there. So see, the question is, there is a lot we can do as a community to help. One
Right.
is get you
Absolutely.
guys learning. If you're in a company and you want to implement it, put you on the right track. I think today if you spend an hour with us, I'm pretty sure I put you on the right track by telling you a few things that you did not know. Please post in the comments if you learned something new today that you did
Yes,
not know
please.
before. That'll help us and understand.
In the
Tell us
session
what went
itself,
well.
the post itself, LinkedIn post. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. And basically tell us what you liked and tell us what we need to change for the next chat that we do. And if it is useful, and if you tell us what you need, we'll shape our conversation to help you better. And if so, you saw we took a lot of questions. There's
Yes,
still a lot of very good questions. I think if we
yes,
take all these questions, we can do 5 more, LinkedIn live sessions. But we'll try and
absolutely.
see. We'll try to group these questions into like 5 or 6 blogs, and we'll keep posting them over the next one week, every day something, so that you guys keep getting the answers as as this progresses.
Absolutely. Devraj, it's 11, but this has been powerful. I have learned so much. And, we have WhatsApp calls, this calls, and every time you talk, I just literally shut up because I want to listen. I want to listen to your insights. You're traveling here and there. Amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you. As
yeah.
always, amazing insights from your real world transformation experience. For everyone who's watching this, start small and think strategically. And remember, AI in SAP isn't just a future, it is here, it is the present. Well, guys, if you found this session helpful, if you have any suggestions, post comments. And another thing I just want to add, at ZaranTech, we are coming up with about 30 courses related to SAP AI, Joule, Build, anything related to that because the demand is crazy. Thank you once again, guys. Thank you for attending. Thank you, Devraj. Take care.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye.